know, it's funny how fat people are just allowed to exist in this country. You go anywhere. You go to Walmart, you go to Target, you see fat people in scooters, and you see fat people in the aisles. Fat people just living their life like if nothing's happening. When you go out to eat, of course you're going to see fat people when you go out to eat. I mean, it's what they do. They're always going to go to an establishment where they serve food. And they ruin the fucking appetite every single time. They can't order something normal off the menu. They go right past the most popular thing the restaurant has to offer. No, they order something like a pig foot. Ask fat black guys. Ask them about pig foots. They eat them. They think it's normal. They think it's acceptable. I mean, this is just some of the things we have to deal with these people in this country. I mean, just yesterday, the incompetence of fat people was on full display for the entire country to see all over Twitter. The most viral clip of the day yesterday was a fat man who was chasing two beautiful African-American ladies. Of course, they outran him. By the way, they weren't even running. They were jogging away from the crime scene. He ran at full speed. He tried to run. And then she got in her car. His fat ass jumped on top of the car, trying to perform an athletic maneuver to catch the criminal. She slowly drove away, but yet somehow his fat ass rolled to the back of the car, literally powerbombed himself on the ground. Criminals got away. He's in the hospital right now in critical condition. Why? Because he's fat. Why? Because he's fat. There's no other reason why this guy's in the hospital in critical condition right now after being outran by two African-American, beautiful, foundationally black Americans. I mean, let's just go over the footage. The footage starts out with Jamisha Butler. I mean, I don't even think this is considered jogging. I mean, she's prancing away from the crime scene, gracefully gets in her car, puts it in drive, and slowly, following the laws of the land, drives away. Look at the fat ass! Hey, look at the fat ass! What are you doing? My nigga, you're not Jackie Chan! Look at the... Roll back. Power bomb! Oh my God, last rod from The Undertaker! The Undertaker got the police officer! My God! My God! My God, King! Just look at this man! Look at this position this man's put himself in. Try to perform acrobatics. You see, that's the problem, though. That's the problem. Fat people are just simply erratic people. They're out of control. How is it that this person thought it was a good idea to perform an acrobatic act when he knows damn well his entire shift as a police officer consists of his fat ass sitting in his patrol car, eating fat nigga snacks all day long, just eating, going back and forth to the 7-Eleven, just eating snacks all day long, alerting all his buddies, hey, 4-2, I'm heading over to the 7-Eleven real quick. You guys need anything? I'm going to go make a quick 7-Eleven run. I see them! I see these people all the time here. Back and forth to the 7-Eleven. They're not buying water. They're buying Slim Jims and they're buying snacks and fruity cakes. And a Monster Energy drink. Not even the regular kind. Not even, the black can with the green stripes. No, they get a Monster Energy drink that you've never seen before. The can is holographic, like a holographic Pokemon card. And it comes with an extra 300 grams of sugar. But even after knowing all that, they want to go ahead and perform acrobatic feats when they're trying to chase the bad guys. You can't even make this stuff up, folks. But let's go ahead and read the story. The story goes, 2 women were arrested after a police officer suffered a brutal head injury while trying to stop one of the women from fleeing the scene. And since we're already starting out wrong. What had happened was that the cop was just basically a fat guy. Incompetent fat guy. But let's continue. The police officer was sent to the hospital for a head injury and remains in serious condition. 28-year-old Jamisha Butler could be seen trying to flee the scene when the Belmont, Texas officers tried stopping her. Police were initially called on the location due to an early morning disturbance involving a group of people. The officer fell off the side of the car and banged his head on the pavement. When the officer handcuffed 22-year-old Melissa Bell, who was also going to be arrested, bolted for the car, the officer tried to stop her but sadly fell off the car. Butler was charged with intoxication, assault, and evading detention. Bell is facing charges including public intoxication, resisting arrest, interfering with public duty, and assault on a peace officer. The officer in stable condition, but serious. Man, it ain't looking good for the officer. Sorry, Mr. Officer. We don't care about a fat guy's head injury. You shouldn't have been fat to begin with, Mr. Officer. Now you're dealing with the consequences of your life choices. And there's a high probability this guy's another fat, ugly, and poor American. And maybe not poor, because a lot of these cops are making well over $100,000 a year. But something we can say without a shadow of a doubt is that he's fat and he's ugly. I mean, just look at this freeze frame. What's the first thing you notice? Fat. We're already starting off wrong. Police officer who's fat, you can't chase the black people. What are you even good for? But again, cops, these fat guys don't even care. The fact that they're fat proves that they don't care. They're not here to chase anybody. But then if you look closely, he has glasses as well. So that's a double whammy. Double whammy of not getting any ass. You look a little bit more up, first thing you notice, Norwood 3 balding pattern. Typical, classic example of a Norwood 3 balding pattern. On the Norwood bald nigga scale. Look it up, it's on the internet. I'm not making this stuff up. This is stuff that's scientifically proven. So he's fat, has zero self-awareness, has glasses, and the cherry on top, he's a high-ranking member of the Norwood bald nigga scale. But then he thinks he's going to go jump on a nigga's car like he's Tom Cruise. But again, it's just more evidence that these fat people are just completely out of their minds. Completely out of control. They're irrational. They're fat. They smell bad. And they're crazy. I mean, go to my favorite YouTube channel, Love Don't Judge. And go watch the latest episode of Love Don't Judge and see what I'm talking about when it comes to these fat people. You have, the episode is about, you have 3 fat people. It started out with 2 of them. And they were a couple. A guy and a girl. They're a couple and they're both fat. And these 2 fats, they graduate college. They've been going out since high school. They just graduated college, so now they're going to get a 1-bedroom apartment for them, for both of them. But there's a problem. She has a best friend who's a homosexual fat. Yes, a homosexual fat. A guy who's fat and is a homosexual, but is her best friend. And he's also graduating from college, so he needs a place to stay as well. So the 2 fats, the couple, they tell him, okay, well, you could just move in with us and help us with the rent. No problem. You can move into our 1-bedroom apartment. 3 fat people in a 1-bedroom apartment, 1 bath. No problem, no problem. We're going to be ripping ass and shitting all day into that 1 toilet. No problem. 3 fat people. It's just fine. In a 1-bedroom. But you wouldn't believe what happens next. You see, one thing leads to the other, and the homosexual fat seduces her boyfriend, and now they're having sex, a violent fat nigga sex, inside a 1-bedroom apartment. Let's keep that in mind. So we have 2 fat people that were involved in a heterosexual relationship. They invited a fat homosexual fat into the relationship, and they're all in this 1 bedroom. Keep in mind, these are fat people. They're eating, they're farting, they're shitting. Keep in mind the crevices, the smells. The fat people swamp ass. That wasn't even we have 3 swamp asses in 1 apartment. Guarantee this, you go into that apartment, the humidity is out of control. Have a swamp in your apartment, see what happens. Have just 1 swamp in your apartment and see what happens. We have 3. We're talking about 3 here. So now all that humidity, what does that cause? This is going to cause molding. So now you're affecting the landlord as well. The guy who worked all his life to be able to purchase his property, to have 3 swamp asses inside his apartment causing mold. Destroying his property. And you know what bothers me the most? Because, okay, you got 3 people in the house, 2 gay guys and a fat lady. Okay, no problem. I mean, that's their business. But they're interviewing these people in their kitchen, and I'm looking at their pantry. I'm like, oh my God, these people, you cannot be this fat. If you look closely, I know those cups. These are the cups that when you go to the baseball game, the baseball stadium, and you want to be a fat piece of shit, you get the biggest beverage you could get. A super gulp, they call it. We're talking about the big gulp from 7-Eleven. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I see these cups all over when I go to the baseball games, when I go see the Mets. All the fat people buy them. And the fat people, you would think, all right, I drank my drink. When I'm finished drinking my beverage, my fat beverage, I'm going to take this cup and throw it in the fucking garbage where it belongs. That's what I do. Sometimes I want to be a fat ass at the game when I go see the Mets. And I buy that gigantic cup as well. And when I'm finished, I go to the train right outside the stadium, and I slam that cup right on the train tracks. Because why would I be walking around with a fat guy cup? You want to know what fat people do? They take that cup home as if it were to be a souvenir, and they keep it forever. And they keep using it on a daily basis. They open up their fridge, their fat ass walks to the fridge, brings out the sugariest drink they can find, fills up the cup all the way up to the brim. And then you see them, they pick up the cup and they take little sips, and they slowly walk over to the couch. Imagine 3 fat people doing this. And the house stinks like butt sex. 2 fat guy butt sex mixed in with swamp ass and HIV. Remember, we got 2 gay guys having sex in the house now. It's unbelievable. If you're fat and you're listening, when will it stop? When will you decide enough is enough already? When? Your knees are pulverized. You have herniated disc. You're thinking about becoming gay. The second best moment for a fat guy is taking a shit. And I mean, that's the second close. The greatest thing for a fat guy, number one thing for a fat guy, is eating the food. Literally dogging down, scarfing down as much food as possible. The second greatest thing is their body going into emergency evacuation mode. Because the body's like, what the all this shit? What is all this food? What's going on? What's going on? Get this shit out! Get this shit out! The body's very intelligent, so it sends a signal to the brain, to the fat person. Oh my God, you need to go to the bathroom now because we're going to shit ourselves. I mean, this is the greatest feeling for anybody. When you finally you have to rip ass. You have to take a massive diarrhea shit. And you finally get to the bathroom and unleash hell. But that happens to me maybe twice a year at most. For fat people, daily basis. This is going on a daily basis for these people. And nobody talks about these things.